Check, check.
Okay, cute people, let's talk boundaries. So, last night I went to a traveling burlesque show. My curiosity for artistic display was aroused by the hosting of a token drag queen. Now, I'm a sucker for a pretty dress, and I was hoping to see a few fabulous creations on display. Guilty. Then about 2/3 of the way through the show, the female singer suddenly got up on stage, grabbed the mic, and started lecturing the audience on burlesque watching etiquette. She was furious that a particular guy was touching one of the dancers and grabbing at her costumes. This made the entire audience somewhat uncomfortable as we all looked over at the table. The guy looked apologetic, bewildered, and confused as this emotional outburst continued. Now, for those of you who have watched my previous videos, you're probably going to think that I, with my outspoken opinions, am going to stick up for the dancing girl. Wrong. How was he supposed to know that he wasn't allowed to touch the dancers? After all, that dancer had gotten off of her stage, breaking the theatrical fourth wall, danced on the tables, sat on their laps, and rubbed faces between her tassels. And she didn't discriminate. Old, young, male, female. Although she had the beads and the feathers, she aggressively encouraged interaction with the audience and behaved more like a stripper. She had no boundaries, but expected some in return? What was this troupe thinking? The shock would immobilize the audience?
Beautiful.
They had advertised a burlesque show, yet provided strip club aspects, thus reconstructing the relationship between passive and participating viewers. I definitely consider this a bait and switch. Management allowed their dancers to get off their stage and interact with a paying audience, being almost completely naked. And then they have the nerve to lecture, claiming the audience doesn't know burlesque etiquette. Amazing. There were no signs posted or an announcement made to inform the audience that they were not allowed to touch the dancers, even if the dancer is smacking them in the face with her dildo.
That's shocking.
This poor guy in the audience had been taking his cue from the performer, but the performer and the entire company were not being accountable for the situation they had created. Funny, you should mention it, but these boundaries exist in all human relationships, which is why I'm posting this one today. If you are in a relationship with someone who pushes your boundaries to a place where you don't feel comfortable, then it's time to get rid of them. If this happens to you frequently, then perhaps it's time to be realistic about how you have created all of this. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Not all people are assholes. If you are the common denominator, then this pattern has everything to do with you. I see girls getting into abusive relationships all the time. It looks appealing at first, mostly because it's masked by humor or money or both. And then I ask them, why? And I hear things like, I don't know, I love him.
My tongue swells up?
Love is not something you catch like the flu. Love is a choice. You can choose who you allow yourself to love. Just ask someone who has been verbally abused for over a decade. You can walk away, but it gets harder the longer you stick around, until he or she has broken you so much that years go by and the choices are mental survival or death. Then you've wasted your youth and beauty on a relationship that was built on a crap foundation. Don't underestimate the power of choice.
You did it! Congratulations!
And if you have the tendency to date assholes, then please refer to my last video on how to tell if the guy you're dating is an asshole. Trust me, people that don't respect your boundaries cause you to lose respect for yourself. And in the end, self-respect is what matters most. Thanks for watching, folks. I got all kinds of useless information. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll get all the new stuff.